School, one of the greatest places to further your intellectual mind and to actually grow as a person and become a functioning member of society, School, so many great things happen here, the encouraging of learning, the learning itself, the meeting of new friends. But there's nothing more wondrous to witness in the school environment than going into a boys' changing room to see 18 guys fighting for no reason whatsoever. And without fail, every single time it would always be the straight A student who initiated the fight. They'd say something like, yo, wait, I swear those are your shoes, or bro, I swear that's your shirt. But like, bro, no way you letting him talk to you like that. And then all of a sudden, two people who have been best friends since they came out the womb, they literally came out the womb, dapping each other up. They're now fighting, okay, taking off their ties and hitting each other like they're using two whips, bro. Like we're in the 1800s hitting a slave, bro. And once they come out of this warfare, once the teacher finally walks in, okay, sees these two hooligans doing whatever they're doing, they're gonna go be on the same team and act like nothing even happened, but they're gonna be the best buddies of all time for the rest of their lives until the next PE lesson where it all happens again. And this isn't even the worst thing that happens in the boys' changing room, bro, because the way guys will be talking about girls in that changing room, bro, it has to actually be recorded, bro. All of us should be going straight to hell for what we said in those changing rooms. Like just 20 minutes ago, we were all silent in classroom doing some algebra, but now we're talking about who has the biggest back and what teacher we would crack. And if we weren't talking about who we would crack or who has the biggest ass in the school, then we'll probably talk about something even more outrageous that I can't say in this video for fear of getting, kicked off YouTube permanently or having this video age restricted. Like I remember there was this one guy in my PE class. Let's call him Ryan, okay? Ryan was genuinely the biggest gooner known to man. Like every single actor you ever could think of, this guy knew, and he knew all of their videos. He was actually a S-tier gooner, and I don't know why. Every single time we're in those PE change rooms, bro, he would be talking with his friend. We're gonna call him E, okay? Ryan and E, they would be talking to each other, and I promise you, every single time they were talking about a different actor that they found, bro. I don't know how they were even on the hub that much, bro. I don't know how they still had bodies, bro. I don't know how they still had some meats, bro, because it sounded like they gooned 13 times a day. And that was just within the change rooms, because when you got into the lesson, the shenanigans went through the roof, bro. For example, my teacher, every single lesson I ever had with this guy, I promise you, without fail, he was talking to some girl who was younger than him. I don't know how he did it, but every single girl in my school was willing to talk to this guy during only his PE lessons. I never saw any girl with him at break, at lunch. It was only whenever he was teaching for some reason. And it really just made me so confused, because why was this guy talking to so many girls who were underage, bro? I never saw this guy with a girl who was over the age of 18. Like, it's actually baffling to me. At some point, you have to realize that this is a bad look, You have to mix in a few guys here and there. You can't just stay talking to girls, or else you're gonna look a certain type of way. And I'm pretty sure he knew he looked a certain type of way talking to all the girls, because we would always bring it up to him and he'd just laugh it off like it was nothing. Bro, address the allegations. You're looking worse than EDP right now. Don't even think it was just the teachers who were down bad as well, because tell me why. Two of my friends are like, yo, I will give you £1 if you go up to a sixth former, say this shot is for you, and then make it in. And never in my life before have I seen this guy shoot a three, bro. Every single time this guy shoots, it's always going to the left, to the right, or it's bouncing off the backboard straight back to his face. And this guy swished it perfectly straight into the net. The most beautiful noise you've ever seen in your entire life. And that is the only time I've ever seen this guy make a shot in basketball, and it was so clean. And then the sixth former started clapping for him as well. It was low-key generational. But don't let this story fool you into thinking this guy is this amazing person who's a feminist and loves women and will do whatever he can to get that attention. No, it is quite the opposite, in fact. So let me tell you the tale of how this guy absolutely dunked on a girl for absolutely no reason at all. Unsurprisingly, this story starts within the school changing rooms, and it's literally just after lunch, so people haven't finished their food. My friend, we're gonna call him Nicholas for this story. So my friend Nicholas, he has a cheese sandwich, 2 cheese sandwiches in fact, that he has not eaten. And I say to him, hey, we're gonna be doing running today. Wouldn't it be so cool, since he was one of the fastest guys in our year, if you ate one of those sandwiches mid-race? And we both laugh a little bit, and then my friend Nicholas says, yeah, it would be pretty funny if I brought one of these sandwiches to the race and actually won at the same time. So just like that, he stuffs the sandwich into his pocket, and we go off and start racing and whatnot. And in my school, whenever we did relay, we also did mixed relay, relay with both boys and girls, not just one gender. In the initial relay, me and my friend Nicholas, we were on the same team. He runs, he eats his sandwich, whatever, haha, it was pretty funny. Now during the mixed relay, I thought he only had one sandwich, but surprisingly, he actually decided to bring both with him. And I didn't know this until the race had already started and we're on separate teams. And right now you're probably thinking, how does this have anything to do with him hating women and him not being a 6'4" feminist? I'm getting there, trust me. So anyways, within our respective teams, I am third to run and Nicholas, my friend, is second to run. And I see this guy during his race, okay, Never in my life have I seen him run this fast before, even during the actual sports day where you win medals. I promised you, this guy absolutely zoomed down past this girl. There was literally one girl ahead of him because of the initial race, but he used every single ounce of the power to go past her. And as I'm watching this guy run, I see him pull the sandwich out his pocket, look her dead in her eyes, and take a big massive bite, only to hand over the relay baton onto the next person while grinning ear to ear. And I'm watching on in pure horror because I feel so bad for this girl. Like, she was genuinely running with all her might. She thought she was gonna be the first. She thought she was gonna carry her team, only to be absolutely destroyed by this guy who wasn't even trying. He was laughing and grinning. And then I go up to him and tell him, why did you smurf? Why did you use all your energy up against these two people? And you want to know what he said? He said, yo, I kind of thought it'd just be funny. My friend is an actual demon. And then he laughed about it even more, all the way down back to the changing rooms. Now, the last thing I like to talk about before we get onto the most important, the most integral, the final piece of PE, the one thing that no person has ever not experienced during a PE lesson, is people getting pants. Now, this only happened one time during secondary school, and luckily it was not to me, but it was in the change rooms. I'm chilling, okay? I'm seeing everyone having fun, we're all getting ready, and I see this guy stand up, and I'm like, this guy's up to no good. It is the same Ryan guy from earlier. He runs up to this guy, full speed, okay, for no reason, unprovoked, and just pulls down his pants, meat in hand and everything. And we're all like, oh my god, the teacher is nowhere to be seen. And all I see, mind you, I'm still walking around this bit, so I watch his pants get pulled down. I see some hairy ass cheeks, bro, in front of me. I then keep on walking because I'm not fully rendering what's going on already, only to see this guy holding his meat in his hand before he swiftly drops down and pulls back up his pants, bro. I genuinely feel so bad for him, because how could you let that happen to yourself? Like, it's genuinely so embarrassing. There's no way I could have ever lived that down. I would have had to slime everyone out in that changing room right then and there. Now, before I go, and mainly because I want to stretch this video out to 8 minutes, we need to talk about the school fights that happened during PE. And I promise you, there were way too many in my school. It genuinely got to the point where people weren't even ready for PE anymore. They were ready to watch two people scrap for no reason, bro. Sometimes there was actually a good reason, but most of the time it would be this one kid. We're gonna call this kid K, because I don't want him to find me at all. But this guy K was an absolute demon. When I tell you, at every single minor inconvenience, he was ready to start something. Tell me why this guy literally comes up to me, threatens me right next to a teacher, and the teacher stayed silent. He wasn't ready to deal with that beef, bro. He was not trying to get taken down as well. We were all scared of him. Like, I mean, every single person in that school feared him with their entire heart, because he was unpredictable. He was like Broly, just going on rampages for no reason. One fight that cemented this guy as an absolute demon, and that was when he went up against this really short kid. We're gonna call him D, okay? So K and D, all right, they pull up to each other. Mind you, this is over some football, all right? This is some school football, not a championship game, regular school football. So K and D, they're arguing over something, okay? Probably a foul. And this guy K, he has no more of it. He punches this guy in the face, right in the jaw, okay? And I'm seeing this guy, this guy's really short, by the way. K's at least double his height, and this guy tries to fight back. Tell me why. We're walking out that PE class, okay? And I'm seeing this guy D, his shirt is ripped in half, and his eye is literally bruised, bro. There is no way the fight could have been that bad. I'm so happy I didn't see the rest of it, because if I did, I would be explaining this in 4K detail. All I know is that this guy got one good punch in the face and ended up getting posterized and clowned for the rest of the year. It was genuinely so bad to the point where K and D weren't even allowed in the same PE lessons anymore. When we had joint classes, one of them had to go somewhere else. Anyway, just like that, you've reached the end of another one of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. You know, make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things that you're meant to do. I will be trying to make some more content. I did kind of go on a little break, so I'm trying to push out some more videos now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Until I see you guys again.